I'm Emmanuel and I'm 14 years old. Since I was a little boy, I've always been next to my mother wherever we go. She's always with me and I'm always with her. I can't tell you about my father because I don't even know him or his story. My mother and I immigrated. First we lived in Italy and then in Spain and now we are in France. In all my life, I've never known a real home. I remember that in Italy we sometimes slept outside, sometimes even in winter. We have been going from house to home for over 7 years. I don't even know why you can't have papers and live like normal people, have a normal life. Having a house in which I would have a room just for me. When we left Spain for France, my mother had some money. She had contacted one of her former neighbors in the country and the lady had promised to help us. My mother's former neighbor welcomed us. Even if the house was not dreamy, at least we had a good bed, my mother and me. 6 months after our arrival, my mother's savings were exhausted. She had to find a job. But since she had no paper, the neighbor, therefore offered to lend her papers but only on days when she was not working or she had no errand to run. So my mother went out to look for work. What she earned was really not enough because she only went out once or twice after 2 weeks. My mother's former neighbor had to return home to bury her mother. It was therefore left the time she comes back. 3 days after his departure, the borders were closed due to the Covid-19. The neighbor cannot return to France at the moment. The food she had left for us is almost finished. We don't have much left and the height is that my mother doesn't even have €1 in her pocket anymore. You can't go out to shop. And even if we could in any way, with what money will we do it? I am stuck here with my darling mom. Yesterday the owner of the house had called for rent. She does not know that the person who rents his apartment is not there. Neither does she know about my mother and me. Suppose the owner disembarks here, what are we going to tell him? Already eating is a big problem, how do we do? If my mother's neighbor didn't come back in a month or 2, what will be our life if this pandemic continues until I don't know when? How will we eat and how are we going to do it for the house? Try to tell me in a comment what you think about it because I'm overwhelmed. Share my story. Emmanuel, the immigrant.